Hola, Lin Manuel.
Hola, Luis Salgado, ¿qué me dice?
How are you, papi?
I'm good, how are you?
Good, great. I'm very blessed to be here sharing my interview with Lin Manuel Miranda, who was the very first interview of R.Evolucion Latina. And it ran all over the net, and it even was posted in the...
Practically galloped.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you are the R.Evolución, papa, of evolution.
Well, we are a long way from the very cold stairwell at 37 Arts, where we conducted our first interview. And I feel great, but we're still between shows, and we're still en la lucha. It is joyous work. It is joyous work. It has not gotten old doing In the Heights. On the contrary, we find new things every time, and that is very exciting, and it's a lot of fun.
How do you prepare for your role?
You know, the main thing is to sleep 8 hours if you can, or as close to it as possible, and to eat right. I just broke that rule. I just had 2 slices of pizza across the street because I just couldn't have another chicken sandwich today. In terms of preparing to do the show and the emotional work required, to me the most important thing is to check in with all the cast members. I still go, you know, back in the day, off Broadway, it was easy. We were all in 2 rooms. It was go to the girls' room, go to the boys' room, and you were done. Now we have, you know, dressing rooms across 6 stories. But I still go and walk up the 6 stories to say hi to everybody on my way up. And then the rest of it is just staying open and staying honest. I think that's been one of the challenges for me, as you know, as I wrote all the music and lyrics, and so it was very difficult, particularly during previews, to, you know, just to stay in one track, because when I'm at home writing, I'm Abuela, I'm Daniela, I'm Benny, I'm Nina, and Kiara and I get to play all these parts while we're writing. And then you go on stage and you have to do your little corner, as Pippin said, your little corner of the sky. One, we have a really nice cast. We have a really fantastically talented cast, but also, you know, Tommy and everyone in the creative team really wants to work with good people. You know, we live with these people 8 shows a week. There's never been a case where we go, oh, this guy's a nightmare, but he's really good in the part. If the guy's a nightmare, he's a nightmare, and punto. We have to live with these people, so we have a really wonderful company. That makes the show fun, and that makes the show easy, and so a lot of what I have to do is getting out of the way. The tricky part is when, you know, someone in the band really bones a note, and you know, Robin will turn to me in the bodega and go, "They think you wrote that."
And you know, how do you feel with this moment in your life?
I feel ready. I wasn't supposed to play Usnavi. This happened, and I don't regret a second of it, but it was Tommy's idea, and it was very helpful for readings, and then I sort of fell in the snowball, and the snowball kept rolling down the hill. I always knew I was just going to do a year, if we were lucky enough to run that long, and we have been. The part of me that is a writer is so big, and it's really quite jarring to go from 8 years writing a show to not writing anything and doing that show 8 shows a week. It has been a joyous form of jarring, but really I'm very itchy to write again. So I'm looking forward to that. My looking forward to that is really quite powerful, and so I'm ready. At the same time, in no way has doing this show ever been boring or old or tired. This is so much fun every time, and luckily we have a cast that really recognizes that every show is someone's first show, and possibly someone's first Broadway show. When we were doing our shows around the holidays, I tried to remind myself, this is someone's present to be here. So you can't fool around with that, and so every show is extremely special, and these last 3 weeks are particularly special because I'm really starting to savor moments I've never tried before. I'm trying crazy things in these last 3 weeks, because when else am I going to get a chance to do them? You know, I know this is not my last time playing Usnavi. I'm sure I'll come back to the Broadway company at some point, but I gotta go write some stuff. So I'm really looking forward to flipping around and sitting in the audience and seeing the show. I hear it's really good. Several things. Some things I can tell you about, some things I can't. One, I'm writing some songs for Andy Blankenbuehler's directing debut. And then I am finishing up translations for West Side Story, which will open March 19th, right across the street with our own Karen Olivo, who is winning the Tony, and yeah, you heard it here first. I've seen her. I'm very excited to see that, and working on that show has been the completion of another dream, because I directed West Side Story my senior year in high school, and Bernardo was one of the first parts I ever played. So to be able to work on that show with the original creators really has been one of those dreams you don't even let yourself have. I want to write an album, and then I already have a book that I am going to adapt that will be my next stage musical, but I can't tell you what that is yet because I don't have the rights and I'm very superstitious, so you will be waiting for that one. But I've got the next things lined up. It's very exciting. Chiara has already started tinkering. I have left her alone to play with it for a little while because, you know, there's very little I can do while I'm still doing 8 shows a week. But it's really exciting to like go sit on Chiara's couch and like play video games and go, what if Benny picked Nina up at the airport? You know, little things like that, and just and really open up the world of the characters again. And you know, I think my job will be to make sure that the show remains faithful to the show people are falling in love with here on stage, but still works as a film, because you see a lot of shows that get translated direct to screen and they just don't work on screen. It just the work hasn't been done to make that transfer happen. So I'm a big film buff and I'm a big musical buff, so that's sort of where I see my role in this whole thing. Well, it's not really for me to say. I am very proud that we have so many Latinos employed on Broadway. I know too many Latinos who just are looking, who are so incredibly talented and are just looking for an opening, and they're looking for that spot. And I'm very grateful that we're able to provide so many spots. In terms of larger cultural impact, it's exciting. It's exciting to see the ripples. It was exciting the day our show was a question on Jeopardy. It was exciting the day one of the characters in Ugly Betty wanted to get tickets to In the Heights. When you see it become a part of the world, when you see it on the side of buses, it's really incredible. It's incredible.
A huge side of buses.
Yes. Yeah, actually my 8th grade English teacher, Dr. Herbert, said to me, he said, I'm not going to be impressed until I see you on the side of a bus. And I had to call him last week and be like, I'm on the side of a bus. Yeah. That stuff is all great, but you know, I think it will come to you in waves. You know, the person I talk to about this a lot is Priscilla Lopez, who you know, was just telling her life story into a tape recorder for Michael Bennett in 1975, and you know, now gets people tearfully coming up to her and saying, Morales is the reason I am here. It's the first Puerto Rican I saw in a musical that felt like a human to me. And so, and she's, you know, and she was like, this is gonna be, you know, reaping gifts you don't even know about yet, that you haven't anticipated. So I'm looking forward to all of that. Well, I would say, first of all, see the show. Tommy doesn't like it if you haven't seen the show when you come into audition. Get thee to class, I mean, if you're a dancer, because it really is a lot of different styles that Andy is looking for, and it's not about executing those cleanly per se, but it's about being able to tell a story. It's about doing that and also bringing your own life to it, bringing your own story to it. I know that's what Andy is always telling people at the dance calls, which I go to even though I don't have to, because there's frankly no place more exciting in New York City than an open dance call for In the Heights.
R.Evolucion Latina.
R.Evolucion Latina. Big things, big year for you. Really, it's been incredible what you guys have done in the last year. And I have been a happy cheerleader on the side, and really it's been wonderful to see how many lives have been affected by it in its short existence.
Well, we thank you for what you do, because you set the standards for all of us to keep on growing and keep on seeing that it is possible to achieve your dreams, and that's pretty much the philosophy of R.Evolucion Latina, to dare to go beyond. Want to rap before we go?
Oh man, you're gonna make me do that again.
Come on.
My last one was so bad.
We got seconds.
Ay, Dios mío, qué buenas palabras. Dare to go beyond and roll your boat gently down the stream. Please believe this dream is coming true. It's true, I'm coming through for you. What you wanna do?
Thank you, Lin Manuel.
All right.
Thank you so much.
My name is Lin Manuel Miranda, and I dare to go beyond.